I'm going to start this tonight, just for you guys to know. We're going to go a little bit different now. When I have some injury things, because I don't want to get press conferences talking about injuries all the time. So to let you know that Mark Dekinich has a high ankle sprain. He's probably out 4 weeks. We'll take it from there and see how he does. But heard it last night in that first period. So Ruth got hurt tonight, hurt his knee. So we'll see on him as well. And the other one is Max Maroff. He's got a concussion, so he's got to do the minimum 5 days. We'll take it from there. Not Max. Sorry, Kovalik. Sorry, not me. Jeez.
How would you evaluate Mason's play tonight?
I thought it was outstanding. I thought he was obviously, when we were slow to get going in the first period there, we had a couple quality chances. We made some big stops, and then in the second period as well. But when we finally got our legs underneath us, he made the stops that he needed to make. And it was very unfortunate that we gave up a couple of sloppy goals that were breakdowns by us more than anything to do with that. But I thought he played a real good game.
To take it one step further on Mason, seeing in position, upright, in control, are you seeing a lot of the things that he and Clark have worked on?
Well, I'm not a goalie, but I think that there's things that they have been working on, and I think that does he have it all in place right now? I'm not sure. To me, it's all about feeling good about himself, and they have a good relationship, and so far things have got off to a good start, and that was a good start by Mace.
I mean, you've been asked this already, but Giroux is a guy who has scored and scored and scored at the AHL level. How do you see his chances here? How did he fare the last 2 nights in your eye?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about upgrading and having a team that can score more goals, and it's exactly what he does. I mean, I've got some history with Alex. He beat me in the Calder Cup. He had 18 or 19 goals in that series, was MVP. But you know what? He doesn't take much for him to score goals. He has a quick release, and I've been very impressed with his work ethic and his attention to detail without the puck, and also maybe the knock has been his foot speed, but I thought he's done a real good job of keeping pace, and tip my hat to him and Broussard. They both played last night. They got home at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and still turned around. And him score against Washington, his old team, was probably a special moment.
Talk about kind of the young guys. You had some, Atkinson with a goal tonight, Max with a goal. Seems like these young guys are coming up really pressing for one of those last forward spots right now.
And that's what you want. Obviously, Max got a nice one last night, but real nice play by Umby on the short-handed goal. And I think that when you have young guys doing that, especially early on, it's your veterans are trying to get going. They've been through this many years, and they're trying to get their timing down, and they're trying to get themselves up to speed. And when these young guys are the ones that you want to see the spark from, and both those guys have been good. And we played a few kids tonight there that we gave them lots of minutes and put them in positions to hopefully have success. I like the way Jutri played, and Peril and Drasanovic. These guys all. I don't want to miss anybody, but I thought with Regner and Ruth on the back end, I mean, there was some guys that had to log some minutes and play against some pretty good hockey players, and I thought did a good job.
Did Dekinich hurt the injury on impact, and he kept playing? Is there a sense that he made it worse by playing, or how did he play with it?
No. Okay, the whole idea is that, I know you weren't here, but due to the injuries at the beginning, I don't really want to keep talking about injuries, but it happened on that play, and then at the end of the period, really felt sore. Probably came in, sat down, and probably really started to recognize that it was something. I mean, for a goalie with a high ankle, that's push. I mean, that's your push. Good power for pushing.
Yeah.
He didn't have it. He had it last year. He had one last year, but he's had 5 or 6 months to heal from it. But obviously, it's something that happened again.
Umberger signed the extension today. You now have 7 guys signed at least 4 years. Just from a coach's perspective, to have the nucleus in place.
Yeah, you know what? I'm ecstatic to have Umby on board. I'm really happy to have it done before the season starts. We didn't want it to drag out and be a distraction for Umby, and maybe be a distraction for the team. And he's expressed all along that he wants to stay here. As a coach, you can't have enough of those players with sandpaper. They play hard, and Umby's a guy that does everything for you, whether it's power play, penalty kill, going to the net. playing hurt. He's a true professional, and for us to get him locked up for 5 years is a great sign, and it's a great signing. He's in the community. I know he does an awful lot around, and very popular. So he goes into that group of ours. I know he's a little bit older, but he goes into that group of 25, 26, 27 years old players that we've all just recently signed here to longer-term deals. So throw him in there, and with Nash and Carter, that's a great core.
Max is a guy who's come in and he played at the end of last year, and he's been in the minors a bit, hasn't really lit it up, so to speak. He's really seems to have improved. Is there something in particular that you've seen in his game that he's improved on, or is it just overall?
Well, I think there's a couple things. Max a 4-year pro. A lot of people don't know he came over when he's an 18-year-old, but the Russians can do that, and spent some time in Syracuse and then obviously Springfield. And we brought him up last year. He was had a pretty solid season in Springfield, and I kind of liked what I saw in training camp. I thought he'd done some good things, and late in the year we gave him an opportunity, and the role we gave him was more of a checking role. We gave him a penalty kill. We put him on a checking line, and we wanted to see, because we just felt that he has good skill, and not to be disrespectful to him that way. We just didn't picture him in our top 6 offensively. He's scoring some real nice goals, but that's the bonus that comes with it. Last night and tonight, we've got him on checking lines. Last night was Sammy Paulson. Tonight was with Judry. They're going against the other team's top line, and that's what he's starting to understand, that as a penalty killer and as a sort of a shutdown guy, his skills can come from that. That if they're doing a good job and he's not playing at his end of the ice, he lets his skills take over. And that's, when you can have a scoring line that can have that kind of finish, it's certainly a bonus. But Max knows his role. He knows there's a job open there, and right from day one of training camp, he's been very determined. He came in unbelievable shape, very determined in all our practices and games so far, and he's a guy that's looking to stay here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks,